All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be breaking down the Sunday night showdown between the LA Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go ahead and get into it. So as always, I like to start off with a quick game preview, guys, and there really isn't much to the game total or point spread. A close game, 2.5 points. Game total wise, kind of a middle game total, 44.8.5 for the game total there. So really, to me, this kind of summarizes the game as to how I see it for DFS purposes. It is a straightforward slate for us. We're getting some pretty good Chargers players receiver wise. We're getting enough value for the Steelers, and so I do think it's a pretty straightforward week. Or slate, I should say. And guys, so for the Chargers, I do think we should just be looking at most of their pass catchers. And it just comes down to which one ends up popping off the most in regards to which one should be in the captain spot. Now, you could just say Justin Herbert should just be the play that's in the captain spot. Now, it's just been going off really this whole year. But really recently, and this is obviously a great matchup for him, one of the best matchups on the slate or of the week, if not the easiest matchup for all quarterbacks. Lad McConkey as well. He's been someone that's been coming on lately. He is safe and reliable. Really, he's a little bit touchdown dependent in terms of us being able to use him in the captain spot, but he is firmly someone we want to be playing in the flex. And then same thing with Herbert. Those two plays are pretty darn simple. To me, the question comes, lineup construction wise, do we want to be on Johnston in the captain spot? Or do we want to be on Gadsden in the captain spot? We are starting to see the snaps be limited for Keenan Allen, so I do worry about him being a great captain choice. I still think he's a great flex option, but I do think he should be cheaper than Gadsden. And so for me, guys, just given the matchup, I am leaning more towards Gadsden, who has basically been taking away some of the work from, well, Johnston, but also Keenan Allen. That could switch. Again, it is a little bit of a guessing game, but given the fact that he's the cheapest player here, and the fact that he got like 80% of the snaps last week, 86% routes, I'm going to be ending up on him in the captain spot. But also, I do think Johnston right there, he's going to be playing on the outside a lot. He gets a good matchup. We know he's a downfield target as well. It doesn't really take much for him to hit value and exceed it as well. He could easily break the slate like we saw him do at the start of the season. Again, we're really just trying to hit on which player ends up scoring a touchdown. McConkey, Gadsden, Johnston, Keenan Allen. It's a guessing game, right? But I'm just going to go with the cheapest one here. And so those are the four simple plays for the Chargers. I mean, it really is as simple as that. Now, don't get me wrong. Cameron Dicker firmly in play. Definitely. Okay, guys, we want to begin to Cameron Dicker. Kamani Vidal is okay. Had a rough game against Tennessee. A little bit of a better matchup here, but not necessarily someone we need to go out of our way to target. I do expect him to still get around 65+% of the snaps, so not too worried about that. And then from there, worth calling out, Trey Harris did get a decent amount of snaps in the last game. You know, he's a fine punt play, okay? If you are down this low and you need someone to get to, he ends up being really the best option. Expect him to get about 40% of the snaps. If the Steelers are playing with the lead, which I don't see. I do think this is a game where the Chargers win, but stuff happens. It is a close game. Vegas sees it that way. But if they're playing from behind, this would be kind of a bet or a play that you could make in a game script build like that. So then we jump into the Steelers, and it has been weird. I feel like we've had the Steelers a lot lately for primetime games, and it's going to sound very similar to the previous games for the Steelers, where I'm just saying we want to get to one of the tight ends for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, it does seem like Pat Freiermuth has played himself into more and more snaps. He's obviously the pass catching down tight end. And so he's the one I'm trying to get to the most, but the fact that Jonnu Smith's a little bit cheaper than him is surprising to me. He should have the highest floor among the three tight ends that we'd be looking at. Now, Darnell Washington should play the most, but he's just not that reliable in regards to his production. Although, I mean, really, since week 4, guys, he's had one dud, and the rest we would certainly take at this price tag. So that's kind of the point. It's like they're all in play. I'm going with Freiermuth, Smith, and then Washington, but like, that's the difficult part of the slate. Same thing with the Chargers receivers. It's like getting the one that's going to score the touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It really is, all right, which one of them are they going to design a big play for this week? Because that's going to happen, and that's obviously we don't know that. That's a guessing game there. And then I do want to talk about Calvin Austin. He is pretty cheap for a player that is playing a decent amount of snaps here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ended up getting 56% of the snaps last week, guys, but 66% route share. Obviously, that's what we're concentrating on. Again, they do a lot of 2 tight end sets, but if they are going to have to throw the football more, right, then something like Austin becomes appealing. But still, to get 6 and 6 targets the last 2 weeks, I like that. And you look at the pricing difference between him and Metcalf. I would rather get to Austin. Now, Metcalf has more upside just due to more touchdown upside. But if you take away the touchdown likelihood of it, then Austin and Metcalf are pretty similar. Jalen Warren, I don't mind, guys. Aaron Rodgers, I don't mind, but not necessarily going out of our way to target them. I think if we're getting to another play, it would just be their backup running back, kind of Gainwell, who probably will get around 30 to 45% of the snaps. But Chris Boswell would also be, pretty appealing there as well. I've seen a lot of ownership go towards the two kickers here, and it does make sense. And so here's kind of a first build here for you guys. I'll give you guys another one as well. You could either go Cameron Dicker or Chris Boswell. Both of them are pretty good. You probably don't want to go this heavy on the Chargers, but it is pretty simple to attack the weaknesses of the Steelers defense, and you have yourself a pretty good build. And then we also have this lineup that's a little bit more balanced. We're getting to Metcalf and Pat Freiermuth. We're still getting to Johnston, McConkey, Herbert, and Gadsden. So we're still having a pretty darn solid build there. And so again, that's kind of the point. It's very easy to make a build that looks very good on paper. Now, when I went ahead and ran the 9-5 lineup builder, I didn't necessarily love how different it was compared to the lineups that I just gave you guys. I do think this is something that we do want to be getting to at least two of McConkey, Johnston, Gadsden, or Keenan Allen in all of our builds. I think we want to do that. And I think we want to get to Justin Herbert in basically all of our builds as well. And so that's a rule that I am going to be setting in here when I do my lineups here. So I'm going to have at least two of Lad McConkey, and we'll put him in the captain as well for that. Keenan Allen, Gadsden, and Johnston. I just think this is going to raise the floor of our builds a decent amount, and I want to do that. Save. And then we're also going to do another group here as well, guys. We'll just do this. At least one of, and maybe even exactly is what we do, but we'll do Pat Freiermuth, we'll do Darnell Washington, and then we'll do Jonnu Smith. We'll do them in the flex, though, because I don't think I necessarily want them in the captain spot. So we'll run it again, and it becomes a little bit better in regards to the line of construction that we're getting to, in my eyes. If you guys see it differently, that's all right, but I do like the line of process a little bit better when we do it that way. Really chalky build here, guys. Herbert, Rodgers, Keenan, Johnston, Dicker, and Jonnu Smith. So if you guys want to go with the chalky lineup, you can do that there as well. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. That does help out the channel a bunch. Leave a comment, guys, as well. Again, pretty straightforward slate, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. That's going to do it here, guys. If you guys would like access to the NFL DFS lineup builder, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to those tools for a low monthly cost of $10 a month. Appreciate you guys. Good luck, and as always, let's keep cashing.